You know, now that I think about it, maybe I should have worn like burgundy or red or black or gray of some kind, like considering the source material I'm going to be covering. Blue doesn't quite work for whatever reason, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. So, anyways, why have I been cut off? That's weird. I actually spent 15 minutes going over the first item, and the way it auto cropped, it looked like this through the whole video. Like, I'm not kidding, that's what I was doing. So, here I am, I get to re record the last 15 minutes because, I don't know, it's not like the power is threatening to go out because of a windstorm that's passing through right now or anything. Again, for the third time in a month, by the way, or within 4 weeks or whatever it is. Yeah, by the way, we had a power station installed like 5 or 6 years ago, and it was supposed to take care of that, and it was all great. And now this year, or correction, this season alone, we've had 3 power outages, and a fourth one's threatening to happen as I record. Whatever. So, anyways, it's been a hot minute since the last time I made a video. Honestly, I'm kind of asking myself if it's even worth it to make the videos anymore. I mean, none of my unboxings really stick except for maybe the Super Sentai stuff. And really, I'm not getting a lot of Super Sentai these days just because there's a number of reasons why I'm not getting it. Um, I mean, even this year I haven't got. I mean, even for the 45th anniversary series, I haven't gotten anything from. What's this one called? Is it Kakai Sentai Zenkaiger? Yeah, Kakai Sentai. Yeah, so like I don't have anything from it. And actually, I saw, what was it, 2 or 3 days ago? I saw the leaks of the whatever it is, the 46th Super Sentai series, which is, what was it, uh what was it, Dan Brothers or something like that, which apparently is going to be based on, was it Journey to the West, which I know absolutely nothing about Journeying to the West, but considering how influential it was on Eastern Asia from like a mythological perspective or whatever it is, I'm looking forward to learning more about it at some point. But anyways, like that's going to be happening anytime, any day now. So like I'm going to be doing a video on that when the pictures finally crack open or whatever it is. Is it? Oh yeah, it's like Avataro Sentai Dan Brothers or something like that. So like it's not going to be man, it's not going to be a number, it's not going to be Ranger for a change. It's going to be brothers. So we'll see what happens. As I understand, it's still going to be a team of 5, I think, and I think there's at least one female in there. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, I'm kind of at that stage where like my videos get so few viewings. Like I don't even know how much this is going to make. But anyways, like the Super Sentai stuff that I make is few and far between as it is. I'm only getting a couple hundred hits on that. The Eagle Moss Star Trek starships, the collector link, those are barely breaking 100, and kind of anything else is kind of unmentionable. In fact, the last video I posted was from the beta in Guild Wars 2, which I'm still playing to this day. I mean, I actually played it about an hour ago, whatever it was, and just nobody's watching my stuff. So I'm kind of at the point where like, should I even bother? And those who do watch it, out of like 100 views, I might get one thumbs up. Just kind of, hey, he's here. Woo, he made a new video. Woo. That's kind of all I'm seeing right now. So I'm in a stage of right now of like, do I even want to bother making new content at this point? Should I even? I mean, I'm not going to delete what's there and get rid of my account. I just like, should I even bother making new stuff? If you see this video, can you please leave a comment below? I mean, I posted a poll in the community tab or whatever it is, like a half year ago, actually it might have been last year when I posted, like, hey, should I even bother posting stuff anymore? And majority said yes, so I'm going to keep doing it. But that being said, barely anybody is saying anything. So I'm kind of at, that's why I haven't done anything. I mean, the last video before that was like the 3-parter, which was was on what's his name, Double Dealer here, And is this double dealer? Yeah. And like, I've finally figured out the knee guards, but this toy was almost a year old when I got it. So I got it late. I actually got it on sale or whatever. Or did I? I don't remember. Anyways, yeah, like nobody cares about a toy that's already a year old at this point, and here I am just getting it. Hey, look what I just got. Nobody cares. Nobody's looking for it. So, yeah, I'm kind of at the stage where it's like, should I even bother at this point? I mean, I actually like making the videos, and I like interacting with you. It's just that nobody's responding, or barely anybody responds. I made a video last year about some what are those called? Some Funko Pops that I got, and it freaked me out to learn that the account or the person who I made the video for, or who I made the video because of, their comment has disappeared and their account has disappeared. I'm like, what the hell? The person I made the account for, what was his name? I think his name was like Dark Devastator 101. Like he's not even his account has disappeared. I can't find him on YouTube anymore. I'm like, the hell, Dark Devastator. If you're still out there, can you give me a poke or something, please? Because like, what happened? Did you lose your account and have to make a new one or something? Like, yeah, you're still out there. Let me know. So yeah, I'm in kind of a funky place right now, and that's why it's taking me so long between Double Dealer and this video. So I apologize for those of you who follow me on a regular basis, and hi and hello to the new people who are subscribing to me. I don't know. I sincerely apologize for not producing more regular content. It's just I'm kind of in a weird spot right now in terms of what I want to do with my account or what I want to do with my videos. So yeah. Boy, no wonder my head was getting cut off. I had the settings wrong on the thing, and it was also going to the wrong folder. So, but anyways, didn't I start out talking about the weather? If I didn't, anyways, yeah, there's been 3 power outages in the last month or last 4 weeks or so, and on not the most recent one, which was 2 days ago, but it was more like 2.5, 3 weeks ago, something like that. We had a 2 day out power outage, and I decided to spend those 2 days to get my Lego on for a change. So that's what I'm going to be talking about here. I'm hoping this will be a short video, but considering what the 10 minutes, whatever it is, I just spent doing all that, I don't think it's going to be. So this first one was actually sitting in a box over there for about 2.5 months thereabouts. I just simply hadn't taken the time to make it. It's not like I was busy or anything. Just like I hadn't chosen to build it. Hey, there's a power outage. Why not just build it? What am I talking about? I'm talking about the child from The Mandalorian, season 1 and 2. You know, who here has not heard of the child at this point? But for the sake of spoilers, I will not use his actual name. This is the child, and that's how it's going to stay. Or Baby Yoda, if you must. It's not Yoda. That's just what we called him until we learned his actual name. So, anyways, the packaging on the labeling on the box says the child, and so that's what I'm going to go with. So this is the child. And I have two statues or two other, Lego Star Wars specifically figurines. But this is the first one of, shall I say, a sentient life form that I've purchased and built. The other two, of course, being the Ultimate Collector Series R2D2, which is chock full of features, which is really nice. And then the not so chock full of features BB-8 from the Kennedy trilogy movie, The Last Jedi. So, which I did not regret buying, and which I still have, and I do still enjoy. It's limited in what it can do, but it's like, okay, yeah, I like it, whatever. But this is the first time I've actually gone out of my way to get a character of some kind, a sentient being of some kind. And that is the function that the child here serves. It's basically 4 panels. They're attached to the front side and the back around a hollow skeletal structure, that technique structure that you assemble. See if I can get this unhooked without losing any pieces. I can. There you go. The yellow coloring is there strictly for orientation. And then, by the way, there's an example right there. Colors you're never going to see that are being used on the interior. And then that red T-shaped technique piece there is actually for orientation so that you don't get confused which side you're working on at any given point. So that is the interior. Of course, all four sides can come off. Well, it's not that they can come off. It's like you build it one side at a time, and then you build each arm accordingly. You build each arm accordingly, and the hand to go with it, and then finally you build the head. So, um, unfortunately, well, obviously, it's not going to have wheels or anything like that. So this is a static figure. It's not meant to roll around or walk. There actually are some Lego kits that can actually motorize walking. This is not one of them. There's no motorized feature. There's no gears. There's no nothing in here. It's all friction joints, and that is it. Which is why you can see his head is wobbling around as I hold it here, is because there's a ball joint right at his neck. I wish that each of the shoulders had been able to move, or at the very least, you'd be able to, or at the very least, you'd be able to actually like remove the thing, take it off, put it in the other position, then attach it like that. I had hoped they would be able to do that, or maybe have a ratcheting joint of some kind at the shoulder. But for aesthetics' sake, that's not easy to say, by the way. I can understand why they chose to not have the arms move at all, because what would end up happening is you'd have a lot of smooth pieces, and you wouldn't be able to have kind of that organic cloth appearance, such as Lego bricks are looking like cloth, by the way. Which to be fair, it's a completely asymmetrical design for his entire body. The only thing that is symmetrical is his hands and his head. That's it. Well, and the interior structure, obviously. But the entire thing is asymmetrical, including where the location of all of the plates and a couple of bricks hidden in there. Um, so yeah, I mean, I would like to have both arms move forward. I mean, can you imagine if he could put both arms up so you could like hold them underneath? Wouldn't that just be adorable, being able to do that? But unfortunately, no. The only thing that can pose is his wrists, his head, or his neck, which is on a ball and socket joint. His ears could go up, and they can very much go down. If you want to put him into a neutral pose, by the way, I would recommend tilting his ears oh so slightly downwards, because he's not a fox. His ears are not up all the time. You actually want to do slightly below horizontal. Um, okay, since I'm talking about the head, obviously there's a ball joint right here in the head, so you can turn it side to side. And it is a friction joint. Now, he does have a little bit of kind of a chicken bob or whatever it is to his neck. And the reason for that is because the way his collar is shaped and the way his jawline and his chin are shaped, they would actually come into conflict with each other if he was just looking straight forward all the time. There actually would be trouble, and you would not be able to turn his head side to side. So they've put kind of sort of that chicken motion into his head. So if you want to have him looking straight forward, push his neck all the way back. If you want to have him look up, tilt it up, and then tilt it forward also slightly. Then you can get him to look up just a little bit. And that's the extent of how far he can look up. He cannot look any he can't angle his head any higher than that right there. So you're kind of limited in what you can do. And then also you can get his mouth to move. It's kind of horrifying if you open it all the way. It kind of reveals like, okay, we don't want to show that to the kids anymore. We don't want to go there. We want them to appreciate Baby Yoda. We don't want to scare the kids away. So the trick is actually to be a little more subtle. Open it just a little bit, and then you call it good. Um, Both hands are built exactly the same. They're built at different times, but they are designed and built exactly the same. There's a ball and socket joint, and then each finger has a knuckle. The thumb also has a knuckle, and it can also tilt up and down a little bit. Now, what you're not going to be able to do, so you can either have it, have the fingers open like this, or you can tilt it like this and a little bit like this. So kind of the best you're going to get is this. That's about the close to posing you're going to get. And then the fingers have little points on them, so it has kind of a claw shape to them. Whatever. Um, and then there's a ball and socket joint that gets you a large range of motion. Now the I'm sorry, the right hand here. He's left-handed, by the way, for whatever reason. His right hand, yeah, you can turn his hand at the wrist if you want to, but just because of the way the parts are and the location of the hand, just for the sake of posing, it's kind of weird to have his hand posed like that, you know? So generally speaking, you just keep it down at his side like that. His left hand, I'm sorry, his left hand can be turned all the way around. So you can see it's already see it's pointing upwards like he's holding something. Or you can turn his wrist down like this and then angle his fingers upwards. Oh, crap. Daggone it. That didn't happen on the previous tape. There's no technique pieces in his hands, so this is actually tricky to get his hand to pose like this. Anyways, is this solid? Close enough. So you can open up his hand. I kind of wish you could actually close his eyes or something like that, so you could use the force. Yeah, I kind of wish you could do that, but unfortunately that's not an option. But anyways, yeah, you can open his hand up, have him use the force, or you can flip it around 180, and then you have the little knob from the Razor Crest's control, or the bridge or whatever it is, and you can kind of sort of curl his fingers around it. He has a little knob shifter. I've never seen these parts before. I don't know if these are exclusive to the child set or not. But anyways, yep, he's got a little gear shifter, and it just pegs in there. Ah! Curse this essential trimmer. Curse it. Urf. So yeah, like I said, you want to be subtle when you open up his mouth. You don't want to be scaring the kids off, you know. So there is the child. But wait, there's more. The Lego's Ultimate Collector Series also usually comes with a display stand of some kind that you can actually rest the vehicle or the droid or whatever on. And there's a couple of occasions where it's just this descriptive placard or whatever it is. And this is a single decal. This is the only decal that's provided with the kit, by the way. And this is not the CG or the Muppet of the child. It's actually the Lego statue that we're seeing here. And then you have a scaled minifig that you would get with any of the other minifig sized Lego kits. You get little what's his name? You get the child right there. The hands are or the arms are posed constantly forward, which is what I wish that would do, but whatever. The hands cannot hold anything, and the arms are constantly forward. The only thing you can do is the PVC head can turn side to side. So whatever. Star Wars: The Child, homeworld unknown, species unknown, age 50 years, height 0.337 meters. He's almost elite. Primary associate, the Mandalorian. Favorite toy, Razor Crest shifter knob. So that is that. Oh gosh! Before I forget, something that I mentioned in the previous take. His eyes actually do have little crescents of brown in them for the not the iris, but the oh, I can't think of what the colored part of our eyes are. But anyways, he does have that, and the instructions are very specific about you got to make certain that the crescent shape, the painted crescent shape, the brown or whatever it is on the bottom of the rounded whatever it is. So there actually is, and it's not a feature where like it's designed to be posable thing or whatever it is. But you actually can, if you're careful, you can actually tilt. You can actually turn the eye pieces like this, just a little bit. So you can actually get him to kind of sort of look to side to side, but primarily he's looking up. So he's tilting his head up and then he looks up. So that's what his eyes are doing. So that's the first kit that I bought on the first day of the power outage. I built myself a child. That sounded weird. I should point out that it took me, what was it, 4.5, 4 hours to build the child. So that was just over 1,000 pieces. So this next one is significantly larger by like 300 pieces, something like that, 300 more pieces or something like that. And this next one took me 5 hours, and that is Moff Gideon's Imperial Light Cruiser. Now, I should point out this is actually the third big scale Lego Star Wars ship that I've ever gotten. The others being the Republic Cruiser from Episode 1, which is the red colored Imperial Blockade wannabe. And then the other one is, oh, I cannot think of what it's called from Star Wars Rebels. Yeah, that thing over there. So this now makes the third one that I've ever gotten, and doggone it, I really, really, really wanted to get that big scale Imperial Star Destroyer that that Lego or yeah, right, that Disney released earlier in 2021. Man, I wanted to get that thing, but it was 300. No, it was yeah, it was $300 more than the previous offering of the Ultimate Collector Series Imperial Star Destroyer. I'm like, I want to get it, but it's so much money. Just oh my god. So I mean, probably. I mean, I actually have a second chance to get one of those things, and now I'm turning it down because it's even more expensive than the previous offering. But it looks so damn good. I'm just fucking saying. So yeah, anyways, Gideon's Imperial Light Cruiser, which actually made its debut earlier than the Mandalorian. This is just its first Lego appearance. I want to say this appeared in. It was either in the Clone Wars era, but I definitely remember seeing it in what was it, Star Wars Rebels, which is where I made my return to the Star Wars franchise, and that was back in 2014, I think. That's where I made or that's where I was like, okay, all right, I'll give Star Wars another chance. I've been gone for the entirety of the Clone Wars era because, the prequel trilogy was actually what turned me away. So, anyways, I know for a fact that this was in Star Wars Rebels. I don't remember if it was in Clone Wars because, well, quite frankly, I didn't finish watching Clone Wars. So, anyways, yeah, here it's referred to as the Imperial Light Cruiser, which finally makes its debut in live action during was it season 2? Yeah, season 2 of The Mandalorian. And I gotta say, it's a pretty good transition. I gotta say, the ship, I don't remember what the specific class of ship is called, but I gotta say, it made a pretty good transition from exaggerated CGI into realistic filming model. By the way, the Imperial Light Cruiser, as it appears in The Mandalorian, is not CGI. It's a physical filming model. Wow. Just like the Razor Crest, by the way. So, getting back on track, as is traditional with larger Lego kits, there's some sort of a handle that'll pop out of the side or something like that. But in this particular case, you can actually grab onto the bridge, and that will support the entirety of the weight. Now, unfortunately, the disadvantage to this kit, this particular kit, just because of the size that it's at, like, whoa, that's a big kit. Well, yeah, it is in hand, but it's not quite that big, is that unfortunately there's no hollow spaces in here whatsoever except for right here. This is kind of the big feature of the Imperial Light Cruiser. And you can see, no, you can't see. Let me turn it in a direction where you can actually see the figures illuminated by the light. So I want to say we got 5 figures in here, including a second minifig of the child. By the way, he's sitting there on the right side there. We've got Moff Gideon. We've got a Dark Trooper. We've got Mando himself. We've got Cara Dune. By the way, this is the only Lego kit where you can get Cara Dune in it. By the way, that's one of the reasons why this was. It's like 120, 100. How much is this again? How much is this kit? $160. Although I think I might have gotten it on discount a little bit, just because it's about a year old at this point. So again, getting it late or whatever. But anyways, this is the only kit where you can get a minifig version of Cara Dune. And then I cannot remember who that woman is. Fennec something. What's her name? Fennec Shand. So she's another original character to the Mandalorian. Gideon is wielding the dark saber, by the way, so he's got that. And Mando has both his disintegration rifle and the Beskar spear that he had won from a previous engagement. So both Cara Dune and Fennec, both of them have the same rifle design. And then I think Gideon also comes with a blaster, and I've got that sitting off to the side. And then the Dark Trooper has a just a common Stormtrooper blaster of some kind. So that's the accessories on all of them. Speaking of accessories, in addition to the figures themselves, oh, my mistake. In case you're wondering what this is, that's actually a recreation of the bridge from the. Well, yeah, it's a recreation of the bridge. I also wish that this would latch in place. It's actually really easy. There's just no friction on the joint whatsoever, and I really, really wish there was. By the way, I've tried, squeeze the technique pieces together. It's just not having it. So, anyways, this is a recreation of the bridge, which was featured prominently in season 2. And there's a couple of panels that use decals or the stickers that you apply, and then the center display console or display table or whatever it is. I don't know why. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, right in the middle of the table there is a coffee mug. Why is there a coffee mug on the table there? I recently rewatched the episodes where the light cruiser is featured in. Why is that there? It's not. It's like if it's for a hologram, I don't recognize it, or rather, it's not. It's not seen. So honestly, why that's there, I have no idea. Can somebody please tell me why is there a red coffee mug in the middle of the bridge on this Imperial light cruiser? I'm just saying. Okay, so additional features. First off, we've got these fairly obvious turrets on the top, and these ratchet. They snap every few degrees, and then the barrels can turn up on friction joints. And that's all well and good. And it also comes with not one, but 2 spring powered missile launchers on each turret for a total of 4. I should point out, damn it, there it goes. I don't think I'd even be able to do that in slow motion to show you how quickly it shoots out of there. These things, I've said it before and I'll say it again, these things are really, really scary. And I'm not even exaggerating. Like, you saw how fast that thing shot. I was trying to do a controlled release of it, and instead it just boom. So, yeah, I really shouldn't uh, have these in here, but unfortunately, there's nowhere else to store them, so I'm kind of stuck with where I can move them. So just if you're going to move the turrets, never ever grab it from the back. Always turn them from the side. You know, so yeah. Those things, they give you 4 of them. And just in case you lose one of them because you like swallowed it or you poked your sister's eye out or something, there's a 5th one hanging out or that's clipped on behind all of the minifigs right there. So there's another one right there because they know you're going to lose them. This is the only hollow place that actually opens up where you can do anything with it. But on the side here is one of the hangar bays, and you've really teeny tiny TIE fighter. This is actually the second time I've had a miniaturized TIE fighter represented in Lego. And what you can do, and this is a small spoiler for the season finale, what you can do is you can place the TIE fighter along this track between the mandibles, I guess, whatever you want to call it. Stick it right there. I don't know how well that you can see that, but there is a TIE fighter right there. See it right there? Because I can't, I can barely see it. And then there's a plunger on the inside here, and then you just push on it. So, yay, whatever. Okay. The unfortunately they don't have a. Is it a Lambda class shuttle? I think that's what it is. They don't have a representation of that, and also the fighter landing and loading bay is not represented here. Obviously, it's just a plunger that's located on the. You can see it right here. There you go, right there. That's what that is, and it's there's no spring feature. It's purely flick fire. So that's what that is. So unfortunately, the hangar bay, while it is a prominent set piece, there's just simply not enough room in the kit to be able to represent the hangar bay landing and loading or whatever it is. And so it's actually a good thing, in my opinion. It's a good thing that you have the ability to peg these TIE fighters into these side hangars. The side hangars, which are also featured in the show, not prominently, but like they launch the TIE fighters from between the mandibles here. They launch the TIE fighters here, and then they return here. So that's what that is. Um, oh yeah, the other thing that it features, by the way, the underside, and this is really unfortunate. I wish they'd done a little more. The bottom side is just flat. There's no Star Wars. There goes another one. Damn. That almost disappeared behind my computer, by the way. These things are merciless. Merciless. Yeah, unfortunately, the only big disappointing part, the thing that would turn me off the most, is that the underside is completely lacking in detail whatsoever. None of that under there represents what it looks like in the show. There's actually another pair of these big turrets on the underside here. There's actually a second pair of turrets, and there actually is some more. I want to say the hangar where that one bridge fight takes place is actually located down here or whatever, or like maybe it's down here. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, the bottom is completely lacking in detail, and that's actually a bad thing that happens. So I didn't like that. Right. So in addition to these two posable turrets up here that I've already highlighted, um, they also have hidden amongst them all these greeblies that that Star Destroyers and whatnot are Republic cruisers are known for. In addition to that techie detail that's located there, you'll notice these black things. Oh, is that falling out? No, it's not. You'll notice these kind of black protrusions here and here. You see this? This is why I should have worn a different colored shirt, because you can't see black against blue. Yeah. But anyways, you've got these protrusions right here, which are supposed to be additional blaster turrets, but unfortunately they don't turn side to side and they don't twist in such a way that you can pose them. The only thing you can do is you can point the cannon barrels up and down using friction, and that's it. So nice try, I guess. You can't even like pull the turret out and then turn it, or you can't twist it or anything. It's all you can do is you can just turn the barrels up and down. There's two here, and there's two here, and I've been informed that this and this are not radar stations. I don't know what these are. I can't find them on the filming model, so I don't know what that is. And then you've got a docking port here, non-functional, obviously docking port right there. Yet more greeblies right here. This area is kind of lacking in detail right here. I was a bit disappointed that doesn't do anything. And then there's some greebly details on the back engine housing, whatever it is, where the main engines are. Is there anything in there? No, there's not. There's a little bit of detail on top of the engineering section, but not on the bottom of the engineering section. So is that everything? Yep, that's it. That's it for the Imperial light cruiser. Oh boy, power just flickered. Oh, please don't go out now, just as I'm finishing up. So, and there's nothing here. It's just more detailing, whatever it is. So, just because there's so many important things that happen aboard this light cruiser in well, spoiler alert, in the season 2 finale, because there's so many important things that happen here, it's really unfortunate the only thing we get is the bridge represented, and that's it. I mean, yes, absolutely, the bridge is important. Yes, it is, and yeah, it is definitely dramatics, the stuff that happens there. But I'd like to see the hangar bay, like maybe I'd like to see, kind of a T-shaped hangar bay, or kind of T-shaped hangar bay where you can actually store, instead of storing the TIE fighters back here, you'd actually store them inside, and then yes, you'd have to take them out, put them in the place, and then push the fire. So I would like the hangar. I'd also actually I wouldn't have minded a Lambda class shuttle to be included either. That would have been nice. But I would like to have seen a hallway or even a cargo bay of some kind, and I'd also like to see. Okay, so there's I think maybe four locations that I can think of off the top of my head. You can have kind of a jail cell or a holding bay for the dark troopers that you could do it as an either or. So it's like either it's the storage bay for the dark troopers or it's a jail cell for that thing. Um, and then so that'd be the first location that I wish they had included. The second one would be the fighter hangar bay because I think and I just said this, I think it'd be important to have kind of a T-shaped hangar bay where you can at least store the TIE fighters in there. I don't think it would work to have the kind of the overhead crane moving the TIE fighters back and forth. I don't think that would work. That would take up too much space. But just at the very least, give us the opportunity to store the TIE fighters inside undercover, and then yes, have the plunger feature here or whatever it is. So that's the second thing I would have added. The third thing I would have added would be um, just a plain generic hallway of some kind where Mando can do some running around in there, or Mando and Kara and Fennec and the others can do so. So I wish they were in here as well, or I wish there was just a generic hallway of some kind. Maybe going between the storage bay for the Dark Troopers and then the holding cell on the other side, and then put the hallway between them. That would have been acceptable. Um, and then okay, so there's that, yeah, and then the bridge module. So maybe you wouldn't have even needed. The problem is the size of this only allows for that bridge module. But I mean, to be fair, that bridge is freaking huge. I mean, just right here, and the weird thing about it's not even shaped properly. If you look at the shape of the actual bridge, it's the bridge module itself. It does not match what you're seeing here. The only kind of notable thing is the table in the center with the coffee mug. So having the bridge represented, yes, that's good, but I also feel like there should have been more scenes. Maybe have the bridge module to have this actually come off and then have something in there or something along those lines. So um in terms of minifigs, Cara Dune is fine. Mando, they're pretty much fine. I don't. If anything, I might have. I think I might have gotten rid of Fennec. Was her name Shand? Yeah, Fennec Shand. I might have gotten rid of that minifig. By the way, this is the only place where you can find that fig. So I might have like had her included in like the slave one or Boba Fett's starship. I would have had her included in that instead. And that way we could have had two dark troopers. Because right now there's only one, and that's not good enough. That's not good enough because it's like it's okay. It's a dark trooper. So I would have traded Fennec Shand for a second dark trooper. And as far as oh, what was his name? The special guest who um, appears at the end of season two. Would I like to have him in here? Yeah. Actually, well, either have him represented here, or at a later time, or even at the same time, make a mini play set that represents some hallways in a cargo bay, something like that. So like it could be like Imperial Cruiser Invasion, or or Imperial Cruiser Rescue, they could call it, or something. Imperial Cruiser Rescue, something along those lines. So maybe that's what they're planning to do at some point. I'm not entirely certain. I'd like all four of those locations to be inside of here, or inside of the kit somewhere, but I can understand why it is that they didn't do it. And I need to set this down at some point because it is getting heavy. I mean, what's here is not bad, although the bridge set is kind of bare bones. It doesn't. I mean, there's the table and a couple of consoles, and that's kind of all that it is. There's no raised platforms or stairways. There's no, well, not stairs, but there's no tiered, staired tiers. There's no, you can't really do anything. I mean, I've got the figures crammed in here as close as I can just so that I can close the thing properly, and then that's kind of it. But that being said, aside from the tabletop, it's not really recognizable as the bridge. There's nothing. It's not that the bridge isn't distinctive. It's not. Let me rephrase. The Lego version of the bridge is not distinctive enough to really warrant it being included. Like maybe if you had the table in a little bit of space, then you could. I don't know. Maybe there were some variations of the interior that they tried to do, and ultimately they just decided the bridge was the most important thing. So I doubt I doubt at this point that they will ever make another big scale version of the Imperial Light Cruiser with a different scene on the inside. Even for season 3, when no doubt this is going to appear again, I seriously doubt they're going to make another one that's different from this kit. The exterior looks the same, but then all the features and stuff on the inside would be different. Um, how could they have changed it? Well, they could have done this differently. And I think they're the other Star Wars Rebels uh, cruiser, patrol cruiser, whatever it is, that had a handle that lifted up from the back. I think they could have done that as opposed to putting the structural necessity into, or the interior structure necessary to allow you to be able to hold on to it this way. And by the way, for the record, I usually hang on to it from the back here like that. So that's usually how I hang on to it because I don't know. Honestly, I don't trust it to do this like that. So like I grab it from behind and just use friction that way. So that's how I hang on to it. So for I think they said $160. I think I got this on discount with a like a special code or something like that. I honestly at this point I don't remember. Um, oh no, I remember. I got it on discount because I had some other things included in the same boxes. So the child I got from Costco, and then this I got from shop.lego.com, along with two other things that I do not have assembled right now, but will. Well, one of them I'll get into at some point here. So what's uh, so yeah, about 2.5 weeks ago from filming, I I decided to get my Mando on. At this point, am I going to get anything else? I've never been a fan of the Mandalorian, space fighter or whatever it is. It's just kind of, I don't care about that. Again, I'm debating whether or not to get the Razor Crest. I mean, there's a couple of things I like about it, but there's also a couple of things like they could have done it differently. But like, when are they ever going to make another version of the Razor Crest that actually is minifig compatible specifically? Like this is a minifig scaled ship. This is not a necessarily display model. So I mean, don't get me wrong, it's very impressive. It's almost 2 feet long. But that being said, this is not a 100% screen accurate kit because hello. So yeah, that's what's that? Okay. So yeah, this is me. This is me getting my Mando on. I might get the Razor Crest. I don't know. I might change my mind about that. Not sure. We'll see what season 3 brings us. So yeah. And so with that, this is AV Unit 4A saying thank you for tuning in. That's that right there. That's going to be my. I think that's going to be the thumbnail. Yeah, I think that's going to be the thumbnail. Like, oh.